Okay, so today we are reviewing submissions for the writing tasks I had assigned earlier. First up is the email. All right, so I'm just going over the question. I'll be checking Afan's work first. You have recently decided to start writing your own blog. Write an email to just a sec. Right, write an email to your friend about this. In your email, you should explain why you would like to start writing your own blog, say how you will make your blog different from others you have read, and describe what might be challenging about writing your blog. Right, those are the points to cover. And so let's take a look at Afan's submission. Dear Ibrahim, okay, first of all, word count. I think even if I leave the salutation, what's the main part? That is 166. So you are slightly over the word limit, but okay. So, dear Ibrahim, hope you are doing well. Sorry for not writing to you for a while. I had been busy with work. You changed your recipient, right? Your earlier recipient used to be Huna, something with an R, if I recall. Rohail, I think. Rohan. Right. So you have a new recipient. Anyway, I've recently decided to start writing my own blog. I want to use it to share my interest in basketball and really talk about the games. My main goal is to connect with other people who enjoy watching how players perform as much as I do. Many basketball blogs just focus on big news or transfer rumors. I want mine to be different by looking closely at game plans and how players work together. No simple results or rumors, just proper analysis for basketball enthusiasts. Finding the time to write regularly and making sure the content is up to date every week will be a big challenge. I also worry about whether I'll be able to find new readers because there are many blogs online. Anyway, I just want to tell you about my new idea. I'll let you know once I launch my website. Take care. Have fun. Okay, so overall, well written. Uh, let me take a look at the question again. All right, what might be challenging? Okay, so let's read this again. Hope you're doing well. Sorry for not writing for a while. I have been busy with work. That's fine. I recently decided to start writing my own blog. I want to use it. Maybe if I include, I want to use it as a platform. Now I know we're already over the limit, but still, again, right? The word limit's not strict in the sense that you're going to lose marks, as I've mentioned multiples of times. It's just all about time management and quality. So I want to use it as a platform to share my interest in basketball and really talk about the games. I'd remove the really and talk about the games. So share my interest in basketball and talk about the games. My main goal is to connect with other people, or you could just say others, and that will help. So you know, take a word or two down. Connect with others who enjoy watching how players perform as much as I do. Many basketball blogs just focus on big news or transfer rumors. I want mine to be different by looking. So remove the it over here as well. looking closely at game plans and how players work together. No simple results or rumors, just proper analysis for basketball enthusiasts. Okay. Finding the time to write regularly and making sure the content is up to date every week will be a big challenge. I also worry about whether I'll be able to find new readers because there are many blogs online. You could sort of skip on the new because new would mean that you already have readers and you want new. Since you're starting out, any reader you get is going to be new, right? So, and whether I'll be able to find readers, right? And because, and you instead of like, as an alternative to because, you can use since. So, since there are many blogs online. Oh yeah, I have like something else to add, but I don't want to uh, go over the word limit by too much. Anyway, I just want to tell you about my new idea. I'll let you know once I launch my website. Take care. Have fun with a full stop. And yeah, okay, so minor tweaks and seems good to go. Then moving on to the essay. So, what was the essay about? Let's take a look at the question. Okay, so you recently had a class discussion about the effects of playing computer games on young people. Your teacher has asked everyone in the class to write an essay on the subject. In your essay, write about the effects of playing computer games on young people. The comments are, right, computer games are bad for health. I spend too much time playing computer games. They teach us useful skills, and some of them are very interesting. Okay, so let's take a look over here. And first off, okay, we are 129 words, so that is meeting the minimum requirement. We have room to spare. And okay, let's take a look at, just give me a sec. I want to open up the essay document just to take a look at the format that they've given in the sample. Okay, so all right, start the introductory paragraph. Okay, and then yeah, okay. So that's the introductory paragraph. Teenagers love computer games, but is it good for them or should they avoid it? Okay, rhetorical question in your introduction. That's good. On the positive side, many games teach us useful skills. They help with problem solving and improve how fast you react. Uh, some computer games are very entertaining and act as a good way to reduce stress or take a break from the work someone does. Okay. However, so that linking device to show, like linking word to use, show contrast. There are disadvantages too. Playing too much means sitting down for a long period of time, which is bad for our health, often causing eye strain. Okay, and staying up late to play games comprises uh, our sleep time too. Moreover, some people waste a lot of their precious time in which they could do something productive. Overall, I believe playing games isn't a problem if it is not played excessively. Okay, so some grammatical tweaks, I guess, and right, some tweaks. So the beginning is fine. On the positive side, or we could rephrase this as on a positive note, right? Sounds better when you're trying to write formally. On a positive note, many games teach us useful skills. They help with problem solving and improve how fast. Instead of saying you react, one reacts. So one means someone, and then obviously it reacts with the S to go along with it. Some computer games are very entertaining and are a good way. Are a good way to reduce stress or take a break from work. Someone does. I could, reduce that, but we're already on the lower end of the limit. So I'm not touching that. We could just say, or just take a break from work. However, there are disadvantages too. Playing too much means sitting down for a long period of time, or we could say for long periods of time. For long periods of time. Right? So whenever you're sitting down, you're probably spending a bit of time each session, which is bad for health. And since you've got words to spare, I can say, so I'll remove the comma from here. Playing too much means sitting down for long periods of time, which is bad for health. So staring at a screen for multiple hours often causes eye strain. You can say, for example, comma, staring at a screen for multiple hours often causes and yeah, oops. Staying up late to play games compromises, not comprises. Comprises means is a part, like something is a part of something, right? What you're looking for is compromises, right? So it has, in this case, a negative effect. Compromises our sleep time too. You could, instead of saying time, say schedule. So compromises our sleep schedule as well, instead of two. Again, keeping in mind particularly that we are supposed to be writing formally. Moreover, some people waste a lot of their precious time in which they could do something productive. I feel that this line is a bit of a repeat, but again, right? So perhaps we could add it something like I tried to add the sleep schedule thing, which is your own point. We could try and add something over here for the positives as well. And finally, overall, I believe playing games isn't a problem if they are not played excessively. So are not it is if they are not played excessively. I do believe that we are still within the word limit. Maybe we've got a few more words than we started out from. What do you think, Afan? The changes that I suggested, do you believe that they make some improvement? Okay, I've got a yes. Right, so that is Afan's work. Now I'll share this document with you, right, since this is not on Google Classroom, so that you can have a a record of this with you. So in case I forget, remind me later. Now I'm moving on to your work, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's start with the email. We've got your submission here. Can you see the screen, by the way?
Yes, sir. Sir, Afan is asking to if he could leave.
Uh, yeah, sure, sure. All right, so this is about the blog. Dear Aisha. Again, right, as I told you, the subject is not necessary. This will not be part of what the examiners look for to grade you, so that's fine. Uh, how many words do we have? 145. Okay, that's good. Dear Aisha, hi. I hope you are doing well. No, okay. I'm writing to tell you about something exciting. I have decided to start my own blog. Recently, I read a blog about cats by Emmy Potter, and I really enjoyed it. What impressed me most was how she presented cats from a completely different perspective. It made me realize that blogs can be powerful tools to share ideas and influence the way people think. This inspired me to start writing my own blog. So you've given that in a bit of detail as to why you want to start it. Okay, that's good. I want my blog to be different by sharing my personal opinions along with other viewpoints. I also plan to discuss both the pros and cons of different ideas so readers can form their own opinions. What is your blog about? Have you mentioned what your blog is about? You haven't. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, I have.
So you missed you've missed that. Uh, I mean, technically the question's not asking you, but sort of goes without saying, doesn't it?
Alright.
Right? So you want to mention, because that way you can really talk about how your blog's going to be different, like Afan did, right? And so you gave Emmy Potter's blog as an example for how she talks about cats. And so you right, if you mention what your blog is going to be about, that will help you you know give some information about
So,
how.
sir, will I get marks deducted for that?
Deducted, not in the sense that, oh, they didn't write it wrong. I mean, I shared the marking rubric with you, right? The marking criteria. And so they look at how much information have you included to fulfill the task requirements. And so if that's missing, basically how that's going to affect you in this case is because you cannot clearly say how your blog is going to be different. You're just saying, I'm going to share my personal opinions along with other viewpoints, and we can discuss the pros and cons. That doesn't really tell me how your blog is going to be. That's a very general thing to say. Okay.
Alright.
So again, like the example you gave for the cats, like the blog we just saw, the essay we just saw, Afan, right? He says, I'm going to talk about basketball, but I'm going to talk about team strategy and everything. I'm not going to talk about rumors and all of that like other blogs do. So he drew that comparison that these type of blogs normally discuss this kind of information, but I'm going to discuss something different, and so that helps you answer the question.
Yeah, alright, okay, I got it.
However, managing time will be challenging as I need to balance my studies and other activities. Still, I am determined to give it my best. Right back soon. Take care. I'm okay. So that part is fine, I believe. Right. And the first paragraph is actually very well written. Right now, it's 145 words, so you actually have at least 15 words to spare. So I I have nothing to suggest over here. Right. This is nice. Right. This is all fine. All is fine. All of this is the problem. However. Okay. So I'm writing tell you or something. I've decided to start my recently read a blog and I really enjoy it on test. Yeah. So I want you to rewrite the second paragraph. Right. What you do is, because the rest of it is fine. Right. You've talked about why you would like to start and what might be challenging. And so you're basically missing the second bullet point over here. It's not very convincing, and so you'd end up losing some marks. Like it's like 15 marks, so you'd end up losing some marks because this is not a very strong paragraph. You haven't covered that point very well. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right, so I'll return that to you. Should I highlight this?
Yes, it would be nice.
All right, I've already returned this to you. What? Why did it go away? Oh, I can't make changes anymore.
Well, sir, I noted that what needs to be changed, so I guess it's
Hmm.
fine.
I'm actually seeing if I can make changes and return it to you again. I don't know if it's saving. Let's check. Close that. Open it again. Did it save the highlight? It did save the highlight. So
Yeah.
there you
Mm.
go. Okay?
Okay, fine.
Yeah. All right. Then next up we have exercise 6. That was the essay. On gaming. Okay. Now, you weren't present in this class. I don't know if you went through the recording to catch up. Did you?
Yeah, I did, but most of the things I use, like most of my knowledge I use from previous grades.
So essay,
I
like
did look for it.
I covered how essays need to be attempted, and so I can see by what you've done is perhaps you didn't, you go through that part of the video. It was, the second half perhaps, or the yeah. So we don't need like a subject. We don't need a headline.
Alright. Okay.
Okay, if I
I
just
will remove.
show it to you over here, right? It's all discussed in this document. This is available on my drive, and I've explained, I've gone over the requirements in the last class, so you can refer to that recording. Okay, that would be the recording on made on the 5th of January, so it would have been posted on the 6th. So and basically just the last recording that's available, right?
Okay, the latest one.
The well uh, before the one we're having right now.
Alright, okay.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, number 37. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And so, right, what we have over here, this first line is not a heading, but it is like the introductory paragraph. Uh, what you call it? Using a rhetorical question, then you've got two paragraphs discussing, the pros and cons, because both sides have been asked for in the question. Right, this question as well as the one you attempted about the gaming, and then a very brief, conclusion. So again, this is something we won't need. Okay, computer games are very popular among young people and they can have both positive and negative effects. On the positive side, computer games teach useful skills such as problem solving, decision making, and teamwork. They can also be entertaining and a good way to relax after a busy day at school. However, playing computer games for too long can be harmful. Many young people spend excessive time in front of screens, which can affect their health, including eyesight, posture, and sleep. It can also reduce the time spent on studying, outdoor activities, or socializing with friends and family. In my opinion, playing computer games is fine if done in moderation. Nice. Parents and students should ensure that games do not take up too much time, and young people should balance gaming with other important activities. Okay, so overall good. The only thing I think you need to tweak, sort of add over here. How many words you have? You had like 133 words, right? Just for this part. Yeah. So you obviously have words to spare. And so, right, what you need to do is add that introductory rhetorical question thing at the beginning, and you're good to go. Okay.
Okay.
Obviously not this one. This one is about fast food,
Yes, yes.
right? So instead of a heading,
Can you like add it, sir?
can I add it?
Yeah, it would be nice.
Uh, Also keep in mind that uh, right, because the question is asking specifically about computer games. Right now, you haven't done it, neither did a fan. I did explain it to a fan that you do not talk about any other types of games. You don't talk about console gaming or arcade gaming or something like that, right? Since the question's about computer games, you talk about computer games.
Computer games. Yeah. So, sir, this is not like subject. It's basically a line from which we are introducing,
Yes,
like
it's
introductory line.
it is like technically you call it the introductory paragraph, but sometimes paragraphs can be very short. They could be just a single line long, and right. So uh, have like a short and one feature that they say is try to make it a rhetorical question. So rhetorical question is a type of question that you don't necessarily want the answer to, but in some cases it is sort of like a way of telling someone something, and in some cases it's a question that you ask to get the other person to think about something.
All right. So, sir, wouldn't examiner think that this line is like subject?
No, because you won't write it as a subject, you won't center it, you won't underline it, you won't make it bold. You will just start it off as a regular piece of writing, and so they'll understand. unless you highlight it in some way, which you shouldn't. You just like regular writing. Computer.
Alright. Got it.
I don't know. This is what I can think of at the moment.
Alright, sir.
Right. I mean, obviously you can write something better, but this is what's coming to mind at the moment. Does it match with the requirement? It is
Uh,
about the effects of playing computer games on young people, and so I've clearly said that computer gaming seems to be a regular part of a teenager's life, but how does it affect them? So do you think it matches with what the question's asking me?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So
Kind of.
we can go with that for the time being. If you think of something better, you can obviously, you know, change that. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
just by doing that much, uh, I believe we right, and perhaps remove this part. In my opinion, right, essay is sort of like a neutral take on it. You are discussing both sides, but neutrally. So they're not asking you specifically about what you think.
Okay, sir. Give me a minute.
Right, and so this is your summary sentence, summary, sorry, paragraph. What you could say, for example, is in conclusion, and then in that case, uh, yeah, you could say that. And what that does is it includes this linking device over here, which is something that they will look for and grade you positively because of it. Okay. So yeah, I think this works better than what we had to start off with. And I'm pretty sure that we are within the word limit. Yeah.
Yes, okay, sir. Now, sir, if you have time, I know your voice is very tired and probably very
Let
tired.
me let,
Can
let, let, let me let me just return this and then I'll cater to your request.
okay, sir.
So here we go. And formally, right, this is the end of today's session. So we'll see you next time.